Hello, I am Shetan Noir, and I am the managing writer for Squatch GQ Inc. magazines, which includes Squatch GQ, Squatch Digest, Watchers Magazine, G Hunter Magazine, Dinosauria Magazine, Weird Travels Magazine, might be coming up with some other ones. I am also a Weird Travels journalist, meaning I go to locations that are kind of out of the norm or little claim to fame places or haunted locations, and I do reviews and articles about them. I am also a published author with 3 books out on cryptozoology. The first one is Lake Monsters and Odd Creatures of the Great Lakes. The second one is Mothman and Other Flying Creatures of the Midwest. The third one is a children's book series featuring my little 7-pound dog, Tegan Gray. She's a Harlequin miniature pinscher, and the first book is about her adventures in hunting Bigfoot. Very child-friendly and suitable for children. I also run my own podcast, Into the Liminal Abyss Paranormal Podcast, and I have a travel series that is starting up, which is Shetan Noir Presents Into the Liminal Abyss Weird Travels, that documents my investigations at different haunted locations. There are several that are already up on YouTube, with more to be added. I am a cryptozoologist. I am a paranormal investigator. I am becoming more of a UFO investigator, but mostly my focus is paranormal and cryptozoology. I do my own in-field work, including lake expeditions for lake monsters, exploring obviously haunted locations and hot spots of activity. I am always interviewing, always researching, and always looking for the next story. I have been interested in cryptozoology since I was about 10 years old, after going camping with my family, and the movie of the weekend was the Patterson-Gimlin film and Legend of Boggy Creek. So as a 10-year-old child, yeah, those were kind of traumatic, especially when you're out in the woods and you're camping and you're seeing these things for the first time and you're realizing, oh my gosh, those could actually be walking in the woods here, and we might actually be seeing some, or it might be seeing us. So my interest in cryptozoology started a long time ago. I would say that Bigfoot is one of the most popular subjects for cryptozoology, but my heart lies with lake monsters and river monsters and sea serpents, and those types of things. Huge fan of prehistoric marine reptiles like mosasaurs and plesiosaurs. So I love Bigfoot, but my heart, the lake monsters, got it first. So with my books and with the investigations, both field investigations for cryptozoology and haunted locations for the paranormal, I do a lot of research into both. And one of my rules of thumb, especially with writing for the magazines that I write for, I have to physically go to a haunted location or a location that I'm going to write about before I'll write about it, because I want to, 1, make sure it's safe, 2, make sure it's still actually there, because as we all know, the internet is not always 100% correct, and sometimes you read a really cool story about a place that people are raving about, and you make the 5-hour or 10-hour or 45-minute trip there, only to realize that it's been completely renovated or knocked down, or it's just not there anymore, and therefore you've wasted a lot of time and effort. So I really try to do my due diligence of research and making sure that the things that I'm going to write about are actually things to write about. And this plays in with both my books and articles that I write. I always try to do my research and get the information. So I do a lot of writing for the magazines. That is 5 to 10 interviews or articles per week. With us publishing 6 magazines 4 times a year, that keeps me quite busy. But I am always working on another book. I would say that My next book project will be based on the courses that I teach at community colleges, and that is the paranormal history of the Great Lakes. And that covers ghost ships, hoodoo ships, shipwrecks, haunted lighthouses, pirates of the Great Lakes, lake monsters, the Devil's Triangles. Most people are familiar that Lake Michigan has a Devil's Triangle, but actually all of our Great Lakes have Devil's Triangles in them. So that would be the next book that I would be working on. I forgot to mention that I teach at 2 different community colleges, Kellogg Community College at both campuses, Kellogg, the Battle Creek campus and the Hastings campus. And then I also teach at a community college down in Ohio, in Perrysburg, Ohio, called Owens Community College. I offer 2 courses at both colleges. One is the paranormal history of the Great Lakes, or legends and folklore of the Great Lakes for Kellogg Community College. And then I also offer a course in cryptozoology of North America at both campuses in both colleges. So the book that I will probably eventually be finishing would be on the paranormal history of the Great Lakes. So one of my primary focuses when I'm doing presentations for different paragons, different cryptid events, is I want to give people ideas that they can open their mind with. So just presenting facts, just presenting historical, events, that's great. But anybody can read that in a book. But it's the little tiny details that you find in research, like the fact that moose can dive up to 20 feet underwater, and not a lot of people know that. And so when we're talking about lake monsters and we're talking about Native American legends of lake monsters, what better lake monster could you think of than a full-grown moose popping out of the water or exploding out of the water next to you and trying to take down your canoe? To me, that's a pretty good example of a lake monster. But with the events that I do, I offer Zoom presentations or in-house presentations if libraries and museums are able to do those at this time. I offer a whole list of presentations based on cryptozoology and the paranormal for libraries to go through, pick what they want. Same thing for different paracons and cryptidcons. I offer the host my list of presentations. They can pick what they want for me to present about, and then they get a hour long presentation that has a slideshow that is very well researched. Public speaking is one of the things that is in my wheelhouse, one of the strong points, because I do quite a bit of it throughout the year. I'm year-round with this, not just in the fall when everybody thinks October, Halloween, ghosts. No, this is year-round for me. So if anyone would like to get a hold of me to do an interview for any of the magazines that I write for, or has a location that they would like to have a travel article done about, you can always reach me on Facebook at Shetan Noir, SHETANNOIR. You can email me at shetannoir@yahoo.com. Those are the 2 best places to get a hold of me, and just send me a message telling me what your field of interest is that you research. I do interviews with everyone, so it doesn't matter if you've had one Bigfoot encounter, or if you're a scientist who's working on eDNA, if you've been on TV shows, or you're just a researcher who likes to go out in the field and do their own thing with research. I interview everyone. Everybody's equal in my eyes, and everybody has a story to tell about their experiences or the research that they've gained. So feel free to contact me again on Facebook. That is Shetan Noir, or through email at shetannoir@yahoo.com.